Hey guys, welcome back to Ask Snes. Hope you're all well today. Hope you all had a good week. Sun's out, it's looking really nice this week. It's warming up a little bit, so yeah, it's good. Right, okay, so a load more questions as per usual. So get comfortable, get a drink, maybe something sweet. First question is from Cyanide Shock. So cheers, Brad. And his question is, seeing as you don't like cigarettes, what is your opinion on e-cigarettes? You can't smell them, they don't harm those around you. However, the government is trying to ban them in public places. What is your opinion? Only ask because I've started using them and they help me stop smoking. Yeah, that'd be no problem with them. It's only vapor, isn't it? And I think at the end of the day, the people look a bit silly smoking them. That's about the only thing with it. Other than that, if you wanna, yeah. And if it's helping you, then obviously it's a good thing, because the more people that stop smoking, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Next question from Big King Bacon. Finally bought a Super Nintendo, been resisting for years. Any tips on how to go about collecting for it? Any websites to buy games from other than eBay? Love the channel. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Yeah, in terms of sites, really, to be honest with you, eBay is the best option, depending on what you're collecting, whether it's PAL, NTSC America or Japan, Super Famicom. eBay is always going to be the best option. It's a pain in the arse because of the prices, and the people are really being quite silly lately, especially the PAL stuff. Crazy prices. Other than eBay, if you're in the UK, then I would say probably the only sites you're really going to want to look at are like retrogames.co.uk, retroscene.co.uk, flashbackgames.co.uk are pretty good. I've only used them once, but no problem at all, great service. Who else have I used? Those are the main three really that I can think of off the top of my head. There's Retro Game based in London. I've never used them, so I've heard mixed results with them, so I don't really know if they're any good or not. But yeah, those are the main ones. But really, to be honest with you, eBay is always going to be the best option because it's got the majority of stock. So there's always people listing stuff. You just have to be patient. And that's the one tip I would give with Super Nintendo collecting, whichever version you go for, PAL, US or Jap, is patience, because you're going to need to be. Depending on what you're collecting as well, if you're collecting loose cart or boxed. If you're collecting boxed, you absolutely need to be patient, depending on the kind of condition you're looking for, because not everybody wants mint. They're quite happy to just take them close to mint, or they ain't that fussed. As long as it's got the box, that's fine. So it's all down to your own personal taste. But I would say patience is key, because the games are really expensive and you want to make sure you get one in decent nick, and you want to make sure that you're waiting for the right deal to come along, because otherwise you don't want to just go and plonk down loads and loads of money and then a week later someone lists one for half of what you've just paid. So you just want to take your time, don't rush it. That's the main thing, I think. And yeah, just really decide what type of games you want to get into. There are a lot of gameplays on YouTube. I've got a lot on my channel, so if there's any games you've never played, hopefully there'll be gameplays there you can check out. I always advise doing that with Super Nintendo because of the price. It's a good idea to. What I did when I started, I went through the list of games that were online, and any games I'd never heard of, just went on YouTube, had a look, see what they were about, and if they looked good, they went on my list. And yeah, that's it really. It's just mainly patience and just take your time with it, don't rush it, and you'll enjoy it more. And as far as stores, eBay is probably going to be the best, unfortunately, but retrogames.co.uk, retroscene.co.uk and flashbackgames.co.uk, all three decent sites. Okay, next channel from Snes Obsessed. Okay, so thank you for the question. I mentioned before to say I was looking into doing my own videos on YouTube to show my Super Nintendo collection. Question, what equipment do you use to video? I feel that I will keep changing my mind about systems to solely collect for, so I'm only a SNES collector at the moment, as it holds a real nostalgia for me. But have you had similar changes over the years? Well, in terms of video, at the moment I was using a Samsung, I can't remember the name of the camera, not Samsung, Sanyo, sorry, Sanyo Exacti something, I can't remember what it was, video camera. But more recently I've started using my phone, which is what I'm recording this on. I've got a Nokia Lumia 930 Windows 8 phone, and it's absolutely spot on. I'm really happy with the results it's giving me, and it can do 720p, 1080p, and it does several resolutions above 1080p, which are ridiculous because you don't need that. I don't record in 1080p, I only do 720, and the only reason I do that is just because Windows Movie Maker, which is what I use to do my videos, because I don't really edit, I just do basic editing. Windows Movie Maker, for whatever reason, will not render a video at 1080p. It constantly tells me I haven't got enough hard drive space when I have, so I'm totally confused why it does that. But I went online, apparently it's a common thing, it's a bit crap, so I just do it 720. But yeah, I just use my camera phone, that's it. Literally, it's got a decent camera on it. Don't have any problems so far. The audio is pretty decent. I actually found that the audio on the phone is much better than my Sanyo Exactive video camera. The Sanyo picks up a lot of ambient noise, and you get a lot of like background and crackling, and it wasn't anywhere near as good as what this one is. Although the only thing I'd say the disadvantage of the phone is it can be slightly bassy as well sometimes. So you know, there are always advantages and disadvantages. But I'd say really nowadays camera phones are so good. If you've got an iPhone or an Android device or a Windows device, just give it a shot because they're pretty decent. The cameras are getting a lot better, and it's probably the quickest and easiest option, I think. In terms of the collecting, so right, so you got the SNES so far, but you're worried about obviously going on to other systems. So yeah, I mean I've obviously had a lot. I mean I don't know how long you've been watching my channel, mate, but yeah, I've had a lot of different changes, and I've I've chopped and changed. I've bought pretty much every system that's ever been released at this point. There's only a couple that I haven't picked up, so I have experimented, and I kind of think it's a good thing in a way, because you can have the nostalgia, which is great, and it's always good to go for nostalgia systems, which is where I'm more at now, enjoying the games that I like. But you do have to experiment, you do have to try all these other systems because they're not that expensive for the most part, and I think why not? If you've got the money, do it, because at least that way you can try the system, play it. If you don't enjoy it, you can always sell it on, make some money back, either break even or make a profit depending on the market, and then invest that money into the system that you do care about. But I would always say give it a try, because you just don't know until you try them. There are plenty of systems I've bought over the last 12 years, and I had no idea about them, like the PC Engine, the Neo Geo system, didn't have a clue, but I always wanted to try them, so I just bought them and tried them. They didn't really work out for me. I like the systems, they were good, but they weren't something I wanted to keep hold of and continue to buy games for, so I just moved them on. But yeah, never be afraid of doing that. Okay, and do you have a Nintendo 3DS, or if not, will you get one? I haven't. Very tempted with the new 3DS. I always have been because it's really nice. But I've said many a time before, I find handheld gaming really difficult. The only handhelds that have really ever grabbed my attention were the original Game Boy and the PSP. I couldn't put those two down. Other than that, I've had the 3DS. I had one when it first came out at launch. I haven't had a Vita yet, which is mainly because the games aren't there. There isn't enough games that entice me. But when I have had them, I just even bought a PSP a few years back, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I did when it launched. I don't know, I just play them for a couple of days, maybe a week, and then they sort of sit on the shelf, and then I never get back to them, and time goes by, and I just never play on them, and I just find it, I don't know what it is, but I have this disconnect where I can't play on a small device like that. I like to sit in front of a big TV and sit there with a controller, be comfortable with a drink, and just chill. I don't know, I'd like to be able to get into it because the 3DS has got some really, really great games, and there are a couple that are coming up that I really look interested. And the new 3DS looks so good, but I never say never. But if the Vita ever got a better library, that would be a possibility, because I really want to play Uncharted Golden Abyss. But that's the problem. That's the reason I've never bought a Vita. You cannot justify buying that, paying all that money out just to play Golden Abyss. It's a bit ridiculous. So there you go. Thank you for the questions, mate. The next question from Gamer 2020 Raw. So thank you. And two questions. Who's your favourite comedian of all time? Mine is Rick Mail. Mine would be Chris Rock. I absolutely love Chris Rock. I think he's so funny. He really just nails it every time, and it's just absolutely hilarious. I haven't seen him doing his stand-up for a long time. Not that I really pay attention to most comedians anyway, what material's coming out. But yeah, I've got a few of his DVDs, and they're absolutely brilliant. I mean, some of the stuff he did back in the day, absolutely top-notch. Yeah, it's definitely going to be Chris Rock. Also, what classic movie would be ideal for a video game adaptation, and what game developer would be ideal for it? Oh, Jesus, now you're asking, mate. Probably Die Hard, because it's had some games, but I would like to see a modern take on a PS4 and Xbox One version of the Die Hard game. And the PlayStation 1 game, I absolutely love the Die Hard trilogy. But I would probably just base it around maybe the first film. I think it'd be quite interesting because you can have cover mechanics, obviously. And I hate to say it, we'd have to have a bit of sneaking around, a bit of stealth, but it'd be quite minor and quite manageable. With a lot of gunplay, a lot of action. You'd have to probably increase the enemies a little bit more, because obviously Hans Gruber's Band of Merry Men. There weren't that many of them, so that could be increased. You could improve that slightly. So you can sort of tweak the story a little bit and make it more applicable to the gaming environment. And the obvious developer is going to be Naughty Dog. I mean, they do gunplay and cover perfectly. They do stealth really well, which I can't stand the stealth, I've said many a time, but I really like Naughty Dog's approach because it's not overbearing. It's quite short and it's easy to get to control. Uncharted 2 had a stealth moment at the beginning of the game and it was really simple to get through. It wasn't laborious. A lot of them I find really, really boring when I'm playing stealth and they just frustrate me. But yeah, I'd definitely say that Die Hard by Naughty Dog, but reimagined for the 2015. Right, next set of questions from Mark. Sega sent me one. Hello Mark, thank you very much. And his first question: the weather's nice, but are you missing the cosy dark gaming nights? Always, Mark. I love the winter, as you know. So yeah, I do. I do miss that. It's really nice, but I love the summer. I just hate the heat. That's my problem. If we could have the sun and no heat, I'd be really happy. But unfortunately, in England, we always get loads of heat, no air. I mean, maybe that'd be even better if we got a bit of wind. Not like a heavy wind, just a light wind, just to cool it down a little bit. Because the heat really does me in. I'm not a heat person at all, can't handle it. But I swear that dog really gets on my tits. I swear to God that dog just waits for me to do a video every week. But yeah, it's really nice at the moment. It's not too hot. I've been cycling and it's quite pleasant. And it's nice that the wind's not too high at the moment because I can get around. Because when the wind comes up, trying to cycle into the wind is a pain in the arse. It just pushes you back and it kills your legs. But that's a bit of a different topic, isn't it? But yeah, other than that, mate, I am missing the dark nights. So, you know, it is nice, but it's nice to have a bit of sunshine. It always makes you feel better, doesn't it? You know, puts a smile on your face. Well, it does me. Could you imagine in your retirement years gaming? It's strange because no one has got to the age yet since gaming hasn't quite been around for that long. I don't know though, because like when you look back in the old gaming magazines, you people like in the 60s and 70s writing in saying they're playing games on the N64 and everything. One of my N64 magazines actually got an old bloke in there who wrote in at the time and he got a collection, which was amazing. Yeah, I don't really see a time where I won't be gaming, because even if the modern gaming goes fully digital, it doesn't matter. We've got all these machines to play on, these consoles, this history and these games. So there's always going to be tons to play. I mean, even after if after this generation it all goes digital, we're going to have all the games that come out on Xbox One and PS4, PS3, Xbox 360, Wii, and all the generations before that. So yeah, I'll be fine, I think. Have you ever lost interest in a genre? Stealth, probably stealth. I hate stealth. I had interest in stealth when I played Metal Gear Solid on PS1. I absolutely adored that game. And then after that, I played Metal Gear 2 and I didn't like it. I couldn't get very far into it. Not because I couldn't play the game, but I just found it really boring. I just couldn't get into it at all. I don't know what it was. So yeah, probably stealth. And ever since then, stealth just annoys me because it's shoehorned into every single game you buy and it annoys the hell out of me. Have you ever played Hercules on the PS1? I've played it briefly and I don't know if it was a demo or not, but I know it's a really good game. But I'm not entirely sure. I haven't played it extensively. Are you still buying Amiibos? Yeah, mate, they're still there, all up there. I've got the next one available. It's coming out, I think, next week or the week after. Is Wario. I got that on order. And I haven't showed Mega Man yet, which I picked up the other month when it came out, because there's just one. So I want to build a few more before I start showing them. Obviously, Nintendo's just announced a shitload more amazing Amiibos. I'm still waiting for Amazon or Zavvi or Shop2 or somebody to put pre-orders up, because nobody's putting them up. And I want to get in there and pre-order them. I want to get, I think it's Bowser Jr. I'm not entirely sure. It's in that big cup thing with the face on that was in Mario World. I want that. I want Zero Suit Samus, which looks amazing. I want Dr. Mario, looks brilliant. I want the 3 Yoshi yarns. I want the Splatoon characters. Yeah, I'm definitely into Amiibos. I love them. And have you ever thought about being a PC gamer? I was a PC gamer briefly back in my teen years, back when we had the games like Wolfenstein, Doom, SimCity, and all those like shareware games that they used to put out back then. I used to play those as well. And I played Day of the Tentacle on the PC. So I did play a little bit, but as an adult now, no, I've got no interest at all. I don't like mouse and keyboard, and I don't want to spend all the money on a bloody rig and, you know, having to buy graphics cards and all that cobblers. I'd rather just buy a PlayStation or an Xbox, stick a disc in and play it. But that's just me. What has the taller game boxes? GameCube, Wii, or Wii U? GameCube, I think. Maybe the Wii, but I'll go with the GameCube. Do you go down the beach much? Is the pier in Western? Does it have any retro stuff? I haven't been to the beach for a while because obviously it's been winter and there's not much point because you just get blown apart with the wind and the rain. But when the summer comes out, yeah, I do tend to go down. Unfortunately, when the summer comes, obviously all the tourists come down and the seafront gets absolutely jam-packed round. But the pier itself, I don't go on because it's too expensive. Because they're charging for everything now. You can't take food on there or anything, it's a bit silly. The amusement arcades, they've got all modern arcade machines. They do have some games in there though, it's not all fruit machines and stuff, that's good. But we haven't really got any retro machines down here that I'm aware of. Before the pier got burnt down, back in, I think it was 2008, I think it was. Before it got burnt down, they had all the old arcade machines in there, like Final Fight and everything. So that was a bloody tragedy. But yeah, I don't tend to go on the pier really. I just tend to avoid that. It's more for the tourists. So I just walk up and down the front and enjoy the beach. I love that for the tourists, like I've lived here that long. Would you ever vlog outside again? Yeah, absolutely. Now the sun's out, I will think of something. I don't know what, but yeah, I will try and do that. I thought about taking it to the car boat sometimes, but I don't know how people would feel about me filming around there. I don't think they'd be asked, but you never know. Do you think about gaming and collecting when you're preoccupied with other things? Oh, right, sorry mate, I didn't realise I've just noticed him. He asked me to let him know I've got the questions because he put them on his phone. Yeah, well, yeah, I did get them. Yeah, obviously, like, whether it be work or just doing stuff in general, or just every now and again, gaming will just pop into my head. I'll be thinking about different things, like games I want to buy, systems I'm interested in, or just games that are coming out, like current gen, or if I'm playing a game, thinking about what I'm going to do next and how I'm going to get through a certain part of the game. So yeah, always, mate, always going around in my mind. Thank you very much, Mark. Next question from Hoodnut197, who asks, first, oh wait, I'm second or third type of comments. They really piss me off. Would like to hear your thoughts on that type of comment. I haven't had those type of comments for ages. I don't know if it's like a generational thing, but I've never understood why people put like first. It's like, yeah, you're the first to leave comment. Well done. Do you want a pat on the back? I don't get it. Yeah, it's bizarre, mate. I've never understood what the point of doing that is at all. It's proper random, but that's society in general today. I don't understand a lot of it, really. Okay, Heavenly Glory asks, what question would you like to answer that nobody's asked? Well, thanks for the question, first of all. Oh, what question would I like to answer that nobody's asked me before? That's a really tough question, mate. I don't know. To be honest, I haven't got a bloody clue. That's a really tough. I can't actually think of a question for myself. No, I don't know. To be quite honest, mate, I'm not too sure. I mean, most of the time the questions come in, they're all surprised to me because some of the questions I'm amazed by. I'm like, how the hell do people come up with this stuff? So I'm always happy to just answer what comes in, but I can't think of anything that hasn't been asked yet that I would like to be asked, because there's pretty much been a lot of things been asked so far. But if I think of anything, I'll let you know. Right, okay, so the last set of questions are from Mr. Hewitt, Keith. So cheers, Keith. So I'd get comfy, guys and girls, because there's a lot of bloody questions as usual. Right, okay. Oh, itchy eye. Right, just get a drink. Okay. First question. And Keith starts with a compliment, so always a good start. Thank you, mate. You're a great fella. Cheers. And it's an absolute honour for you to answer my questions every week. I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Yeah, really. Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? That bloody song, man. Oh my god, what the Rednecks, wasn't it, that sang that? Shocking bit of music that was. I remember they got loads of aggravation and all for being called the Rednecks, as it seemed like racist and everything at the time. I don't know. Would you be a YouTuber if you hadn't ever played a Super Nintendo? That, mate, is a very good question. I don't know. If I didn't, I mean, had I never played a Super Nintendo, implies I might have stopped gaming at that point, which was never going to happen when I was that young because I loved it too much. But had I not done that, what path would I have taken? Because had that happened, I wouldn't have been into the collecting. I wouldn't have got started into it unless I would have stopped gaming in 1992, 93. And then in 2003, I suddenly thought, you know what, I'm going to get back into the Commodore 64 and Amiga again. And then I started collecting for those systems. And then 2009, when I started doing this, maybe my dad would have suggested it to me, maybe not. Or maybe I would have just stopped gaming in 92, 93 and never looked back and never thought about doing it again. Thank God that never happened. That would have been crap. What one thing would you associate with being a retro gamer? Any traits? OCD. Definitely obsessive compulsive disorder. What else would I say? I'd say the thing that splits us from like people who only play modern games is that we're much more open to different genres and different types of gaming. We're not going to be, pigeonholed, and we also like the fun in games. Whereas I think a lot of the young kids now, if they've never played retro games and their first system is like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, or even PS3 and Xbox 360, you're basically in a mould, in a way of thinking, and it's all this Twitch gaming crap. And there were great games on these systems, of course. I love them myself. I enjoy playing them, but a lot of the games these days make me angry more than anything. They just frustrate me. Whereas my old games don't. I just have fun with them and enjoy them for what they are. So I think that's a big advantage of retro gaming, is that the games don't annoy you as much as modern gaming do. Modern gaming just makes you want to launch the pad at the wall a lot of the time, whether it because the game's broken or it's just ridiculously difficult, and it's just difficult for difficult sake, instead of actually giving you a chance of actually surviving and working out how to do it. Yeah. Right, next, is the YouTube community like the new pen friend craze? I suppose it is really, in visual form. So yeah, it's great, I think, the fact that you can go on here, make videos and meet people all around the world. New people all around the globe on a daily basis. That's pretty bloody awesome. Just meeting people in the UK is pretty awesome. But to find people that in other countries all around this planet are tuning in to watch your videos on a weekly basis, that's bizarre, but really cool. To think there's people in Australia like Charlie watching my videos, madness. And Josh, that's just crazy. You've got people over in America and Canada. I mean, I look at my stats and there's people in Brazil watching me, and I'm like, why would anybody in Brazil want to watch my videos? It's proper strange, but yeah, definitely like the old school pen friends situation, but much better. It's really cool. I realised last week I asked the same question twice. Anyone ever done that? No, and I didn't realise you had, to be honest, mate. Okay. I love your Q&A videos. They are the perfect way of your subs communicating with you. Will it continue forever? I hope so. As long as my channel's up anyway. I'll just keep doing them until people get bored and don't want to watch them anymore. So it's, as I've said before, it's all down to you guys. If you ask me questions, I'll answer them. So we'll see how long it lasts for. We're doing quite well so far. Can't believe we're approaching 50 episodes already. I never thought that would happen. Amazing. Ever been to a restaurant and had a really awful experience? Not really. I'll be honest. Usually if we go to restaurants and the food's crap, it's the typical British thing where instead of complaining, you just go, you know what, that's shit, I'm never going back there. And then you tell all your friends that it's crap. Whereas like the Americans will just go and like call the waiter over and say, look, this is shite, take it back and get me a better one. They're a bit more forthright than we are. We're very much of the mind of like, we're too polite, we're just like, thank you very much, yeah, it was crap, I'm never coming back here. But no, I've never really had a bad, really truly bad experience. What is your least favourite vegetable? That's going to be a tough one because I love veggies. No, in fact I can't. I'll be honest with you, Keith, there isn't one that I don't like. No, not that I can think of. I'm just trying to think, what's a radish? I know it's part of salad. I don't know if that classes as a vegetable. If it does, it would be a radish because radishes are disgusting. But I don't know if it does or not, I'm not sure. But generally, I just like food. I'm thinking of starting a Q&A on my blog, not in video form. What advice would you give me? Just be open and honest, mate. Just be yourself. That's all you can do, really. Just answer the questions the best you can. Any questions you can't answer, don't try to, because if someone gives you a question where you just don't have a clue, don't pretend to know what you're talking about, because people will just destroy you for So just be honest. Okay, you say you eat anything. Is that strictly true? Would you eat a raw ostrich egg? Not raw, but if you cooked it, I'd give it a shot. Yeah, big piece of bread, whack it in there, spot on. What kind of family history have you got? I am part Welsh. Yeah, I've got Welsh, Irish, and English, and Scottish. I've got pretty much everything in there. Yeah, because my mum's dad was Scottish, mum's mum was Welsh, and I'm not entirely sure which side, but one of my mum's granddads, I think it was Irish. I'm not sure on my dad's side. Obviously, there's Welsh. I'll say obviously, you don't know what my last name is, but yeah, my last name is a Welsh name, so there you go. Do you like putting milk into some food? Yes, cereals, obviously, or porridge, which technically is breakfast. But what would you change about your gaming history? My game history, well, the only thing I would change is I wouldn't waste all the money I've wasted. I would make sure that I just, in 2003, I'd go back in time, buy a Super Famicom, a Sega Mega Drive, leave it at that, and then maybe a few years down the line, I might pick up 1 or 2 systems. But yeah, not waste all that money that I wasted. That's just for me personally, because I've bought, sold, resold, bought again, and just ridiculous amounts of times now. And as I said earlier, great thing to test the water, see if you like a system. But the one piece of advice I would always give is, if you buy a system you don't know much about and you're interested in it, and you play it and you don't like it, sell it and don't rebuy it, because honestly, it's a dangerous circle of life to get into. Don't do that. Right, okay. Has there ever been such a shocking question that you failed to answer it? Only that one that you asked me the other week, where there was a bit of a crossfire situation where you didn't realise what I thought it meant. So yeah, that's about the only one. Assign a YouTuber to these people in a room. Someone goes potty about a spider. So I've got to find a YouTuber who's scared of spiders. I don't know. I'll say Jay, Cyber Snake 7. Why not? Someone asking random questions. That'd be you, Keith. Someone cooking the food. That'd be again you, Keith. Someone outside growing veg and/or bird watching. Depends what type of bird watching you mean. If you mean like twitching, then that's a bit different. Probably Retro Dave Nintendo, then we'll give him that job. You're decorating the pot of paint is teetering above a walrus with a walrus with a mouthful of rare ostrich eggs, or a farmer who has worked out how to grow real money trees. Which one do you push it towards? The walrus, obviously. Screw endangered species, mate. There's a money tree. You can't be logical. You can always buy another walrus. No, maybe not. You love my idea of a GTA and Mario hybrid, but what about an F-Zero and GTA hybrid? I don't know how it works, because all you're doing is driving around, and you're not. That's essentially driver on the PlayStation 1, isn't it? Only faster. So I suppose it can work in a way. Yeah, that's true. So it's already been done, but not in the same speed. How's your blog idea getting on? I'd happily help you with it. It isn't at the moment, mate. To be honest, I haven't even given it a second thought. If I'm absolutely honest. I've been elsewhere in my mind lately. I've been having a lot of things to think about, so I haven't got around to it. But maybe in the future. And thank you for the help as well. That'd be good. Nintendo always seem a little behind the times, but I think this is part of their appeal. Recent news like the NX and mobile stuff may represent a turning point. Do you agree? May, yes. Will it? I don't know, probably not. We'll wait and see when they come out and tell us exactly what the plan is with the NX. I don't have a lot of faith in Nintendo these days, I'll be absolutely honest. It's a shame, because I'm just like every Nintendo fan, I always want them to be successful. I always want them to come out with some amazing product that blows my mind. And the last few products have really let me down, so I don't know. The 3DS is the only thing they've done recently that's been absolutely stellar. Other than that, yeah, the Wii and the Wii U, damp squibs, man, and it's just move away from the Wii name and just start over again. So we'll wait and see what it comes. I'm hoping they're just going to bring out a traditional console and stop pissing about. That's all I want. But we shall see. Have you ever hated a game so much, but then kept it in for the collection? No. If I hated that much, I'd just sell it. What is your professional opinion of the Wii Classic controller? A rare beast, if I may add. I've actually got one. I've got a red one, and I thought it was crap. I didn't like it. I thought the buttons were weird and clicky and just didn't feel right. D-pad was alright because it's Nintendo. But I wasn't that impressed with it overall. And I hate the fact that you have to tether it to the bloody Wiimote. I always found that to be really stupid. Why can't they just make it wireless? Crap. Thanks for answering my questions. Such fun is had when I watch them each week. Have you got or had any collections that subscribers don't know about? I have at the moment, yes, but that'll be coming up next week. I think I said 2 weeks ago that I was going to be telling you, put up a new video. Start again. Put up a new video to explain what was happening. Obviously, I've not done that yet. I did put the GX4000 video the other day, so people might think it's that. That's not what it is. That's just something else. But yes, the new video will be going up next Monday, so look out for that, and that will hopefully explain a bit more. It's going to be a good one. Okay, so have you ever been to a shop and wanted something out of your financial ability, but got it anyway? Not a shop, no. Generally online is the case. Like, I'll stretch my money when I shouldn't, when I know I shouldn't be spending, but there's been many a time I've just gone, screw it, just buy it and just worry about it in a couple of weeks when you get some more money. And that's not a good way to live. You shouldn't do that ever. Are there any local eateries you often frequent? I'll go to a cafe called I can't pronounce that, mate. An Italian cafe anyway. Not really. To be honest with you, I don't. Because there's a lot of places. I mean, I'm in a seaside town, so we've got tons of like coffee shops and restaurants and cafes and Christ knows what else. So it's really whatever takes my fancy when I'm downtown, which isn't that often. I mean, now the sun's out, I'll be down there a bit more hopefully. But yeah, there aren't any real particular favourites that I can think of. No. I mean, the coffee shops they're all standard down there. There's Cafe Nemo and bloody the other one, the red one, which I can't think the bloody name of it. We haven't got Starbucks, so which winds me up because I love Starbucks. It's my favourite, so I wish we had that. Okay, these people are in a room. One needs to cook, one needs to teach you geography. Cheeky sod. And the other needs to clean the room. Who would do what? Stevie Wonder, Pingo, and Paul Gascoigne. So this one was a cook, teach me geography, and the other one needs to clean the room. Well, geography I'd give it to Pingo because of where he comes from, so he's probably got a good idea. If he can get from there to here, he's pretty good with his geography. Probably get Stevie Wonder to cook for me, and I'd get Paul Gascoigne to clean my room. Yeah, that would be the best option. You need to go shopping. The postman is due to deliver a box of retro games. Do you wait indoors and go hungry, or go out and collect it from Royal Mail Collection Centre the next day? Actually, I can't go to the Royal Mail Collection Centre anymore because you can't park down there. So I have to have it redelivered when that happens. Back in the day, I'd either wait in and just, wait until I'd go once the parcel comes, then go shopping, or just sod it and go out and then not worry about it and have it redelivered. But yeah, or go and pick it up. But now I can't because the post office collection is crap down here. The post office depot is basically on an industrial estate, and it's all yellow lines around there. And they recently, a few months back, put a little bit of parking outside, which unfortunately everybody who works around there has stolen the parking, so people who actually need to use it for the post office can't use it. And it's yellow lines all around the estate. They're all industrial areas, and all of the businesses around there have signs up. They won't allow you to park in there unless you're a customer. The post office itself has got its own parking inside the depot when you go through the gates, but they constantly put their own vans in the parking bay to stop people parking. It's really dumb, and it really pisses me off. So basically, you either take the risk of parking on yellow lines and getting caught by the cops, or you have to drive down there with a friend or family member and then run out, get the parcel while they drive around the block. It's absolutely ludicrous. So I don't know what they were thinking with that one. So yeah, so I have to have everything redelivered now. Who will be the most impressive company this year at E3? That's a good question, mate. Good question. I don't know. I don't honestly see Nintendo surprising us with anything. I'd love in an ideal world for Nintendo to do a Nintendo Direct, unveil the NX, and just totally blow our socks off. I don't see it though. They may give us a tease, but I think they're going to save it. I'm not sure. I mean, I think the console's not coming out until 2017, I would assume. So they've got until next E3 to really work on the system. It depends how far into it they are. Assuming they started when the Wii U was launched, which is how companies normally work, I would assume they're quite a long way into it now. So it's been a couple of years, so there could be a possibility they could show something at E3. But I know what Nintendo's like. They won't. They'll just hold out and either till Tokyo Game Show or even next E3 and just not even bother, because they're like that. They don't see the importance of doing it for some reason. I think Sony and Microsoft are going to be interesting because Microsoft, Phil Spencer's trying to get lots more exclusives. He's really trying to push the Xbox, which is great. I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping they're going to unveil some really awesome new games. Sony, hopefully they're going to show more Morpheus, because I'm really excited by that. And of course they will have the games that have already been announced, plus they'll announce new exclusives, because they always do, and Sony always have amazing press conferences. For me personally, Sony always have the best press conference at E3. The Microsoft one, they always try hard, but it's always way too corporate. It's better now they've got Phil Spencer, because he's a bit more chilled out, and he's not so business. I mean, Don Matrick had a rod up his arse, so I much prefer to watch Phil Spencer. He's a lot easier to watch and a lot more affable to the gaming community. So I would probably say Sony's going to have the best time this year. They've got a lot to offer, a lot of great games coming out. They've got the Morpheus. But Microsoft and Nintendo are the ones to watch. They're the dark horses, because Microsoft could surprise us with some phenomenal exclusives that no one expected. And Nintendo could surprise us by showing us the NX console, or at least not even showing the box, just telling us what it's actually going to be and giving us some kind of specs and explaining if it's got a normal controller or if it's got some weird and wonderful bloody device strapped to it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't got that long to go now, just under 2 months now, innit? So I love E3. E3 is the best, man. What do you think will be the new revolutionary feature of Star Fox? Something where you waggle it around like that. That'll be it, man. They'll just be getting the gamepad and they'll be doing, because we know it's going to be there and you can turn it off, thank God. But there's going to be some weird bullshit with the gamepad, you know, holding it up and looking around the room and all that crap that nobody really wants to do because you want to sit there and play the game. Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything too phenomenal because this is Nintendo and they seem to have given up, to be quite honest. Right, okay, yeah. Last week, Ming was gaming. Oh, it was, thank you. Yeah, I was getting confused with that. Oh, so it was supposed to be gaming, not Ming. Right, that's blooming autocorrect. What do you think of it? Right, so I did wonder why you were asking me about Ming and Merciless. I was a bit confused. Quality. When you watch older Q&A videos, numbers 20 to 30, you seem really pissed off. You seem so jolly now. Do you agree? I have no idea about going back in and watching them. I hope I wasn't pissed off. I try not to be. Yeah, I'm a lot more chilled out these days. I'm doing a lot better than I was, let's put it that way. So I hope my mood wasn't that bad. I don't want it to come across that way. I Space Alien as friends, or a lifetime supply of turnips and a degree in agriculture. Depends what kind of aliens they are, but I'd probably go with the agriculture because that would be more beneficial. What is your opinion of, I don't even know what that says, agro-tourism? Agro-turismo. I think that's what it is. It's farms in Italy that accept paying guests and the guests partake in some basic farm work and food prep. Okay, I've never heard of that, mate, but that sounds like a really cool idea because at least you get to learn how to cook and to farm the land. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea, really. Would you be happy without any gaming consoles? Yeah, I don't think it'd be a shame to not have them, but I can live without them. Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't make much difference to me. I love my gaming, but I can live without them. It just means I'd end up buying a lot more films. I'd probably just transfer in vinyl. I'd just transfer into film and music, really. Without hesitating, pausing for thought, answer this. What kind of game is best suited to a GameCube? Nintendo fan. Yeah, because it's such a limited library. You have to be a hardcore Nintendo boy or girl. What is the most questions someone has ever asked in one go? 100, which was a couple of weeks ago. If you're willing to accept, I challenge someone to ask 99 questions next week. Not again, Keith Cost. Mind you, I did it alright last time. I managed to get through it, so yeah, why not, I suppose. I challenge you not to play any games for the month of May. Accept my challenge, you could do a documentary at the end of it. Mate, that's not even possible. I could never do that, go a whole month without playing anything. So, unfortunately not, no. What has been your longest video of any kind? I think my Super Nintendo video, my 101 games in counting, my American Snes collection. I think that's like an hour and a half or maybe an hour and 50 minutes. It's quite, I'm sure it's close to 2 hours. So I think that's the longest one I've done. Okay, which Will we one day end up with one box, perhaps made by various manufacturers, that plays the same catalogue of games? Nintendo, Sony and Microsoft with third-party devs. How weird is that? It sounds like the 3DO project, mate, and that never went anywhere, did it? Shame because to call it a device and all that, but yeah, I think realistically it could end up that way. It won't happen for a while, but I think there's a possibility that in the future you could just end up with one box and all of the companies just make software for it. But yeah, I think that's a long way off if it's going to happen at all. You're limited to one turnip per day, only for 1 week. You win a Super Nintendo PAL sealed. Are you in? Yeah, why not? I'd rather have an American or Japanese Super Nintendo, to be fair, because a PAL Super Nintendo is a bit crap. But you know, and I say crap just because they're slow and they've got the borders and everything, and I prefer 60 Hz gaming. So the console itself is obviously a phenomenal console. Have you ever considered eating snails? Escargot? Hell no, absolutely no. That is disgusting. Remember those milk bottles with 4 tops that the birds used to get at? I do indeed, mate. That's showing our age, that is. What do you think about people who keep making daft noises in public? I think it's called Tourette's. Are you getting into your food more? Last week you said you watched MasterChef and Food Channel. Yeah, MasterChef is poncy though, I'll be honest. I was watching it the other night and Jesus, that's pretentious. Food Channel's much better because obviously you've got Diners, Drive-ins and Dives. You've got the new Man vs Food show. It's not called Man vs Food anymore, I can't remember what it's called, which is quite cool. I've been watching that and the guy's lost a load of weight and all. And I was watching The Daily Show actually the other night with Jon Stewart, and they had a guy on there talking about veganism, and I've got to be honest, that's kind of interesting to me. I've never been somebody who could give up meat, but veganism seems to be the way to do it if you're going to give it up. I'm not one of these people who thinks animals are our friends and we should not kill them and all that. To me, I love meat. Meat's awesome. Animals are there for food, and that's the evolutionary way of doing things. It's just that's the food chain. We're dominant. We eat them. They eat things below them. It's the way it is. But yeah, I would quite happily give up meat and just not eat it at all. If there's a viable alternative, and veganism seems to be the way to go. So I may look into that. I'll wait and see. Fictional situation: NASA is planning on launching a space probe in a hope that it will one day become property of an alien civilization. They seek professionals to suggest items to go inside the probe that represents life on Earth during the period 1964 to 2015. They contact me, Pete, right, to choose a game console and it says game console stroke handheld, so I'm assuming both, from this period that best represents this period on Earth. Which one would you choose? Handheld's got to be the Game Boy, easily, because it's got an amazing library and it just shows you everything that handheld games is about, without doubt. Console, that's tough because you can't pick one, because you need to pick two really, which would be the Super Nintendo and the original PlayStation, because PlayStation's obviously got goes into the 3D era. I don't know. That doesn't sound right. So I can't really pick one. I'd have to pick the Super Nintendo and the PlayStation because I think that's the most obvious choices, and the Game Boy because it's just one of the best handhelds ever made. So definitely. Has American TV reached an all-time low? Absolutely not. American TV is fan-bloody-tastic. It gets better and better every year with new shows every time. And obviously it's different people who actually live in America. For me personally, living outside of America, I love it. There's so many great shows that I get to watch every week. So yeah, I love it. Way better than British TV. British TV is shite. Excited about E3 or is it too far off? Always, mate. Second best holiday since Christmas. I absolutely love E3. I love staying up watching all the press events. I love watching all the news reports, all the interviews with the developers and the people who work at Microsoft, Sony and Nintendo. I love it all. So I just cannot wait. I mean, we haven't got far to go now, so it's going to be cool. What do you miss most about the Wii U? If I'm honest, absolutely nothing. I don't miss the Wii U one little bit. As I say, I rarely played on it. It just didn't encourage me to play on the system. I wasn't that impressed with it. And it's a shame. It really is. It has potential, but yeah, when you look at it, that controller is just not a good idea, and the games just don't excite me at all. So it's a real shame. But yeah, we'll wait and see. They've still got time to make it better with the NX. What game do you miss most about the Wii U? None of them were that amazing. There were some good games, but none of them were like phenomenal Nintendo classics. So yeah, I would say none. Have you ever been tempted to start a collection of antique origami? It's Japanese after all. It is, but yeah, I'd rather have a collection of geisha girls. That'd be better. What animal do you most associate yourself with? I can't honestly say I have ever thought about that. But these days, probably an eagle. You can just soar above the clouds and just be free. What TV host, dead or alive, would you be most willing to live with for a decade? How the hell did you come up with that one? Bloody hell. Dermot O'Leary. He seems pretty chilled out, doesn't he? Old action man, I'll go with him. And does time pass quickly if you have better consoles? I.e., would you be less bored? Yeah, of course. You don't want to play on crap consoles, do you? Want to play on good consoles with amazing games. So, of course it does. And the last question of the day: do you like Nick Potts, the Economist? I have no idea who that is, mate. If I'm honest with you, so I don't know. I can't say I do, or can't say I don't. Cheers, Keith. Thank you for those interesting variety of questions as always, and thank you to everyone asking me a question. Really appreciate it. If you do have a question for me, please leave it in the comments down below. Cut-off, as always, is next Wednesday, and then the new response will go up next Friday. Thank you very much for watching, guys. As always, really appreciate it. Please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next Friday.